Serious. What crime do you really want to see solved and justice served? Would be nice to get Epstein's list and put all those assholes in jail. This may not be a famous case. But in my country, there was this 16-year-old girl who was found in a vacant lot. She was raped and stabbed to death. Her face was skinned and an autopsy also revealed that her tongue, trachea, esophagus, parts of her neck, and her right ear were missing. There were alleged suspects, but it was never known who really did it to her. This happened in 2019. The disappearance of the Springfield Three in the early morning hours of June 7, 1992. These three women, Cheryl Levitt, 47, her daughter Suzanne, Susie Streeter, 19, and Susie's friend Stacy McCall, 18, all vanished from Cheryl and Susie's home following a night of fun and partying. All their personal belongings, their cars, purses, and the little dog was left behind. The front porch light's glass globe was broken and there was a weird message of the answering machine that accidentally got deleted. All of Ghislaine Maxwell, S. and Jeffrey Epstein's clients named, shamed and brought to justice. Where is Shelley Miscavige? KK's Corner triple homicide. 3 victims shot execution-style in the convenience store's cooler made to believe it was a robbery gone wrong. 1 man in prison. The sheriff at the time was corrupt along with many high-ranking officials. Sheriff's son was a well-known drug dealer bragged about the crime. One of the victims was speaking out about a murder made to look like a suicide. She was shot to shut her up. Whoever did the Tylenol murders? For those who don't know, in 1982, there were a series of mysterious deaths. It was later discovered these deaths had been caused by the Tylenol which had been swapped out for cyanide. This was one of the main reasons bottles nowadays have the seal that says "Do not buy if broken edit." The Tylenol murders are the reason bottles nowadays have seals to prevent tampering. Might be cheating, but all 3 have to be rolled into one. John David Gosch, 12, gone missing delivering the paper in Des Moines, Iowa on September 5, 1982. Eugene Martin, 13, gone missing delivering the paper in Des Moines, Iowa on August 12, 1984. Mark Allen, 13, gone missing heading to a friend's house in Des Moines, Iowa on March 29, 1986. My best friend, Sean Bach, was murdered in a hit-and-run in Albuquerque, NM just a few years ago. I want to find the posse that killed him more than anything. Adam Walsh was a boy abducted from a Sears in Florida in 1981. They later found his decapitated head but never his body. The police had a suspect but botched the investigation. No one was ever charged. Rip Little Guy. 2008 financial crisis. Instead, in the UK we have many of the perpetrators in government making laws. The University of Idaho murders. In Finland there was this case last winter where 3 teenagers tortured their friend to death extremely brutally. This act included breaking every rib bone, urinating on victim, steel pipe in anus and firecracers to testicles and leaving victim naked in snow in Finnish winter night. Of course the boys are in jail now. But because they are minors and first-timers they all serve about 4 years in jail and get new identities. Identities are even now not public. But internet knows. That is not justice, that is complete bullshit. Back at the beginning of 2009, a young 17-year girl didn't come back to her house after going out with her ex-BF to just chat. Until this day, there's no cause of death because there's no body and there's been 7 different versions given by the one considered guilty. The other people arrested involved minors and close friends of her. Thanks to one of the reporter involved since the beginning of the case and who still pursues the truth, along with a documentary published on Netflix, the case have been reopened. I really hope you are finally found and have justice served. Marta. The JonBenet Ramsey murder. Epstein's client list. We literally watched the most powerful people in the world almost get caught, en masse. Being a bunch of pedophiles, rapists, and sex traffickers. And yet that list has not been made public. That's the biggest crime that no one ever talks about anymore. All missing children cases, but the missing Beaumont children comes to mind first. Link. My aunt's murder. She was a grade school teacher and was run down by a car in front of her students. We all suspect her husband, but he never got convicted. A girl that I went to high school with was kidnapped and trafficked in NYC. My friend and I went on the dark web and everything to try to find her. Her mom has been a mess ever since. There are hundreds of people in my town who just want to see her back in safe edit. I apologize, but I was using the term trafficked loosely. I'm sorry to cause any confusion. Whenever I see this question, my answer will always be the murder of Nuran Jazlan. The 8-year-old's body was found stuffed inside a gym bag and brinjal and cucumber was found inside her genitals that caused her rectum to puncture. Remains unsolved till this day. A girl from my hometown, who graduated high school with me, was groomed by police officers throughout her teen years. Almost 3 years ago, she was found dead in her apartment, pregnant with what she said was the cop's baby, although he denied it. He was the last person seen in her apartment. But her death, investigated by the very police force that groomed her, was ruled as a suicide. I don't believe that for a second. I think she was either murdered or it was a coerced suicide. I think everyone has wanted answers from the beginning, but as more and more from the investigation has come out, there have just been more and more questions to need answers for. The murders of Barry and Honey Sherman, pharmaceutical billionaires who were found dead in a suspicious way in their mansion. The Toronto police bungled the case and it seems like it might never be solved. It intrigues me because who did it? A lot of talk about it being a hit from a rival drug company, even their own son. Murder of Tristan Brubach. He was a 13-year-old boy from Germany, killed in a brutal attack during the day and mutilated. The Monster of Florence, murdered several couples in Italy during the 70s, 80s.